Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Raising Canes right here in Byron, Mississippi. This is the South 78 Football Show. I'm Trellis Williams, right here, your host with the TSJW Network, and I'm right here with Coach Kris Thigpen of the Terry Bulldogs. And, Coach, I want to start off this show by just asking for an update on TJ Harmon. He went down. It didn't look good. He went off the field in the ambulance and stuff. I know a lot of the viewers probably want to hear an update about him. So do you have an update about him?
Yes, TJ is at home, thank God, with his family. As bad as it looked Friday on the field with him, having such an injury and being carried off on a stretcher, the thoughts and prayers of a lot of people really came true. He was able to go home Saturday night, and so myself and the rest of the coaching staff was able to go by and visit him on Sunday, and he was up walking around in the comfort of his own home, with his family. He's going to be out the rest of the season just for precautionary reasons, but he is doing much better, and he'll be able to return back to school here soon.
Well, that's good to hear. Definitely good to hear that about TJ. But so now that game on Friday, taking on the Oak Grove Warriors at home, very good ball club, very strong team, offensively and defensively as well. They got up on us 17-0 there at the beginning, but your offense climbed right back in it. 2 touchdowns, 2-point conversions made as well to cut it in close right there at halftime. What did you see from your team there in that first half that you liked, and what did you see that you didn't like?
Well, it's just like I told them, the first quarter we didn't have a really good first quarter overall. We played much better the second quarter, as you said, climbing our way back into the game. Towards the end of the first half, it was maybe less than a minute to go. They drove the ball. We thought the player was down. We thought they missed the call. He was able to run for about 15 more yards and got in field goal range. And they ended up kicking a field goal, making it 20-16 at halftime. But, the third quarter and the second half, we didn't play well enough. We didn't match their level of play and their intensity. And so that's the thing with our team, is finding consistency and playing well throughout the game. And so, I guess if you speak to Oak Grove, they would say they didn't play well in the second quarter. We outplayed them, so we got to get to a point to where we're outplaying teams for 4 quarters or more quarters than what they outplay us. So.
Yeah, and so just like you were alluding to, that second half was just a kind of a tough one there. And one of the things was TJ Harmon going out. Definitely an energy breaker. I didn't foresee us really doing well after that, just because I knew that the energy level had gone down to 0. Me personally, I've just seen a lot of sports to the point where I'm just like, that's going to be a tough one to come back from there. Now, what in that second half? Other than that, what did you see that that the team did not perform at the level for?
Well, I thought there were times, defensively where we could have got off the field. We had them in, third and long situations, or in situations where I thought our defense would step up and make the play. And this was one of those strange games where we didn't. Versus Oak Grove, they got outside of us several times on the jet sweep. We had the right play call. We missed them in the backfield one time. Ja'Cameron Washington missed him in the backfield. That would have been a tackle for a loss. Kid ends up scoring. So, as you said, when TJ went down, that was a big-time delay for us. I've seen that work in our favor, and I saw Friday night it didn't work in our favor because there was a big gap in that time. But the team that is more prone to bouncing back in that situation, they would do well in that situation. I didn't do well in that situation. I've seen a lot of football, and I've seen players get carted off like that, but when it hits one of your own players, it's almost like it's your own son out there. And I had to gather myself some, so I can only imagine what our team was feeling during that time.
Yeah, for sure. And I was just looking at the players out there, and I just remember, just from my personal experience playing with guys, not playing football, which is a very violent sport, but like basketball, where you have the guys who tweak their ankle and it feels like a tragedy happened.
Right.
You know, but if I just could imagine seeing a guy get taken out on an ambulance, and also those guys looking at each other as brothers. Yeah,
Right.
that's a tough part as well.
And let me say this, you know, it was great to see all the people from our school, our administrator, our principal, Mr. Scott, our athletic director, Brian Weeks. You know, everybody from our school administration to our parents of other players, former players. A lot of people reached out and asked about him. So I'm real proud of our school community on checking in with him and his family during that time.
Yeah, that's for sure. And on a more positive note, there in that first half, we were able to see Sharonsky Johnson get back kind of into form. He's able to get a touchdown. He's able to get a 2-point conversion as well. What did you see from Sharonsky that you liked?
We kind of saw flashes of the old Sharonsky. You know, we as coaches, they went to a different defense in the second half that kind of made it difficult for us to match up and block their defensive front. And that's really what the second half boiled down to for us offensively. We struggled blocking their defensive front. We had to put some backup guys in there, some guys that normally probably wouldn't play as many reps, and we struggled blocking those guys. And so that's the challenge week to week for us as we face off against the rest of the teams in our on our region schedule is if we play well up front and we're able to run the football and dominate the line of scrimmage on an offensive standpoint and defensive standpoint, we have a very good shot of getting the results we all want at the end of the night on Friday night, and that's getting a win.
Yeah, and so moving ahead to this upcoming week, taking on the Warren Central Vikings right there in Vicksburg. It's going to be a road game. Of course, the last win that we got was against Pearl on the road. So I don't know if that's as big of a problem for us playing on the road there. But it's a very tough team there. Only region loss so far has been to Brandon, Brandon's the top team in the state. But Warren Central's been very solid this year. So what do you expect from a Warren Central game?
They're very well coached. Very rarely are they out of position on offense, defense, or special teams. They have really good athletes. But the best part of probably about their team is they play so well up front from an offensive line standpoint and defensive line standpoint. They play really well up front. They're a physical team. And they've been in place. They have the winning tradition. So they have the expectation that they're supposed to be successful every time they step on the field. And it's funny you mentioned going on the road. The coaches and I were talking, and Coach Crosby mentioned, hey, we should just play all our games on the road because our guys are just that much more locked in. We have less distractions, seem like, when we play on the road. And it almost puts, I guess, the players in the mindset that, hey, this is a business trip that we're going on. We got to go over as a team, play well, and try to beat a really good team. So as a coach, I like playing on the road. Also, as a player, I love playing on the road because it was almost like your back was against the wall, walking into the opponent's stadium. And Warren Central has a new renovated stadium, new turf, new track around their facility. So it's a really nice stadium off Highway 27. So it's going to be a great atmosphere for our team and players to play in on Friday.
Yeah, and so going into this Friday night's game, this week of practice, what has been your main focus after that Oak Grove game and going into this Warren Central game?
The situational football. At this point, it comes down to situational football. We practice different situations today. Second and short for offense, third and medium, second and short for defense, third and long for defense. Knowing when the offense will try to bait you into jumping off sides. We had a few of those the previous two games. But our players being aware of the situation. At this point, you'll change some things up that you normally would do, and you'll try to dress it up but your bread and butter plays are just what they are. And so getting better from a situational standpoint, I think, was our main focus this week in practice.
And so this season, as the season has gone on, the offense has evolved into being definitely based on the dual threat option that Jordan McGee is there at quarterback, and it's really developed pretty well. He's definitely explosive. We're able to get some explosive plays out of him as well. So I know that though you have players, good senior players that are going to be gone next year, you got a lot of guys that are going to still be around that are doing a lot of good things for you. How excited are you just seeing the guys who aren't seniors performing at a high level?
Well, that's always good. You want your juniors and seniors to be the guys on your team because they're the upperclassmen. They're the ones whose bodies are physically developed, more so than the underclassmen. So, you know, a guy that you're going to have on today, Nicholas Crawley, we expect big things out of him. He's a guy that came into our program, bought into all the things we asked our players to do, and he's played well this season. And he's just a junior, so he'll be back again next year. Donald Passmore, who you've had on several times, has played big. So our center, Jaden Porter, will be back. He's a leader and a really good player on the offensive line. Jordan McGee, as you said, our quarterback. So we have some players within our program that are doing an awesome job, and we as coaches want to see them develop on and off the field.
Absolutely, and thank you, Coach, for joining us. This is the South 78 Football Show. We got Trey Morrison and Nick Crowley coming up, interviews with them coming up next, but definitely be sure to check out the ball game, the Terry Bulldogs and the Warren Central Vikings. If you can make it over to Vicksburg, go head over there and wear your maroon as the Bulldogs go and try to knock off the Warren Central Vikings. So we'll have these interviews coming up right up next. McGee with Sharonsky to his immediate right. McGee's going to take it in the middle.
First down,
let's
go.
He gets open. He's got Green. Touchdown, Terry! Jordan McGee gets the touchdown, running right through. And now the Bulldogs are on the board. 4:25 to go here in the first quarter, and Jordan McGee able to get in. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I'm right here with Nick Crowley, junior defensive back for the Terry Bulldogs. And Nick, man, so this season, man, you've had a great season. This Bulldog defense has been pretty good. Definitely started off really hot, keeping the other teams low and stuff. How much confidence have you had in the defense that you're a key part of?
I've been very confident in our defense. We got one of the best D-lines in the state. Got great linebackers, an amazing secondary, and a great coach behind us, Coach Crowley. So, yeah, he makes sure we are confident and make sure we play great every Friday.
For sure, man. And you're a junior, and I know that it's probably one of the big breakout seasons for you there at that position. How was that development of you becoming, a defensive back? Like, just take us whenever that started. Whenever you started being defensive back.
I've been playing defensive back since literally I've played my whole life. Since I was in I just started playing football until I was like 12. So I had started playing and been the DB ever since then, defensive back. I just developed my game with it and just kept playing.
Yeah, well, give us like a player that you've kind of modeled your game after.
I'd say Jalen Ramsey. I play like Jalen. I like to play like Darius Slay too. Darius Slay, Tyrann Matthew, because we like the same size. Like he's short, play like me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. And so over the course of this season, what has been so far your favorite memory of the season so far?
I'd say probably I win against Pearl. We since we made history of that game, I'd say that win against Pearl had to be the biggest one.
Yeah, that was a big win right there. So if you're looking forward to next season, to your senior season, what would be the thing that you're looking to come back with improvement on?
Developing my game. I gave up a touchdown this year. One touchdown this year. I don't want no touchdown giving up next year. So none at all.
Oh yeah, man, for sure. So this upcoming Friday, you guys head over to Vicksburg to take on Warren Central. What do you expect from that offense when you're playing the defense?
I mean, they run the ball a lot. They got a good run game. They're a good team overall, but I think we can beat them. I think we got them. Coach Carter prepared us for them these last 3 days. I feel like we're going to go out there, we're going to make a statement, and we're going to win and get ready for the playoffs.
Good deal, man. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
And we'll be back with Trey Morrison right when we come back. McGee in the shotgun now. He's going to get it.
Hit it deep. Will Johnson.
He's going to throw it deep to Will Johnson. He catches it. Will Johnson keeps it. He nearly broke a tackle. Got down to the 39-yard line. The Terry Bulldogs with a big play. You got a minute and a half to play here in the first half. That was a huge play from the Bulldogs.
They got to get on the ball.
A huge play.
Great play, and I called it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the South 78 Football Show. I'm right here. I'm Trellis Williams. Right here with me is Trey Morrison, senior offensive lineman for the Terry Bulldogs. And Trey, man, so this season the offense has developed pretty well, definitely with that dual threat quarterback that you guys have, but also with running backs too. Like you started off going to Sharansky a lot, and then now you got Jordan McGee making some runs too. How much pressure has it been on that offensive line that you're a part of to just make holes for those guys?
Well, in my opinion, a lot. Because not only do you got to be mentally and physically prepared, but you got to take over your role at that position. Because at the end of the day, we brothers. We got to have each other back. So it's my role at the O-line. I got to protect them at all costs, no matter what the situation is.
For sure, man. So this season, guys started off real hot, 3-0, with outscoring the other team 104-7 in the first 3 games. Then found some tough opponents there for 3 games in a row. Got the big win over Pearl. What has been your favorite memory of the season so far?
I would say the Pearl game, because it shows that even through adversity, we can still come out as a team and play hard enough to come together and get the victory, and as a brotherhood.
Absolutely, man. And now, next week, this upcoming week, you guys head to Vicksburg to take on Warren Central. They're a pretty good team, known as a pretty good team. What do you expect from that defense when you're trying to block them there?
Very disciplined, highly competitive, coming out of the game, the same mentality as us. At the end of the day, someone got to come with the win. It depends on who be the most disciplined team with the most mentality.
Man, so this is your senior year, and so coming up, and we're now in later October. How do you want to be remembered as a Terry Bulldog?
As a leader, as a person who through adversity can still bring the team together no matter how separate we are, and that can fight through any means necessary and come together to be a highly disciplined team to be known as Terry High School.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate it, Trey.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us. I am Trellis Williams. This is the South 78 Football Show. Thank you to the Raising Canes right here in Byron, Mississippi for hosting us. And be sure to check out the Terry Bulldogs Warren Central game on Friday night starting at 7 p.m. in Vicksburg, Mississippi. Thank you for joining us. I'm Trellis Williams. We out.
They got to get on the ball. Play. Great play. And I called it too. Look for him to go right back to Will. Picking on.
Great throw and great catch there, as Will Johnson caught it over his shoulder. Now McGee back to throw again. He's going to scramble. He's going to run himself. He's got great, baby.
Out of bounds.
Out of bounds. To the 10, to the 9,